By Milwaukee. The Racing Roundup Show is brought to you by Jockey. Don't miss the Jockey Made in America 250, July 4th at Road America in Elkhart Lake.
You're up.
To gather round, you are locked in on 90 minutes of nothing but motorsports. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show, your destination for complete coverage of the Wisconsin racing scene and the world of motorsports. This is our 37th season of the Racing Roundup Show, America's longest running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us on a Tuesday night, live at Polly's Pub and Eater. Yeah, that's not golf applause piped in. It's not some sort of crowd noise you get at those games that didn't have any fans. We are in the audience right now, right across the street from the Milwaukee Mile after a big race weekend in Wisconsin. We have it all covered for you here on this show for the next 90 minutes. Nothing but motorsports on the Racing Roundup Show at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield, right across from the Mile. We're live tonight on the Big 920 and thebig920.com, and we're live in Madison tonight on 1070thegame.com. Show airs Wednesday night on Madison Radio. We're also live every Tuesday on our website, racingroundup.net, with a live web stream with video and audio, thanks to Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. Like our show on Facebook and watch our Facebook live feed every week, too. Tonight on the show, NASCAR and Monster Jam pilot Camden Murphy joins us after 7 o'clock. Dallas Raceway Park late model racer Cole Thomas is in the house. Dirt late model driver Joe Bongiorno is sitting right in front of me. He'll be our first guest on after our Interstate Batteries NASCAR report. And Steve Zotke will preview the July 9 and 10 Harry A. Miller Club meet, featuring priceless and yet drivable vintage Indy cars they'll take around the Milwaukee Mile on Friday and Saturday, July 9 and 10. Lots going on in the world of motorsports. We got it covered for you here on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned. We're here for the next 90 minutes at Polly's Pub and Eatery in West Allis. Come on down and join the racing crowd.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back. Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Hey gang, Rich Bickle here. This is my 45th and final year racing, and come January I'm throwing the biggest retirement party in history of racing. Join me on the Norwegian cruise ship Joy for Bickle's Bon Voyage, the largest short track party at sea. We'll be cruising the Caribbean and stopping at some awesome places. January 22nd to the 29th on a ship that has 18 bars, imagine that, 16 gourmet restaurants, craft beers, and a go-kart track. I'll tell some stories, not my book, and there'll be some stories I can't tell on the radio. And you can ask me anything during the special question and answer session. Join the racers and fans already signed up. The bench racing party will be spectacular. Get out to January Wisconsin weather and let's party. Spend a week in the warm Caribbean as we visit Honduras, Costa Maya, Belize, and Cozumel. Bickle's Bon Voyage is made possible through making memories travel. Visit the Facebook page or go online right now to mymmtravel.com. I guarantee a great time that will be talked about for years to come. You won't want to miss it. Click on the link on mymmtravel.com. Join me and celebrate 45 years of racing on Bickle's Bon Voyage Cruise.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE-trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. For 37 years, we're all home for all things motorsports, and wouldn't you know it, the Mangione family just got their pizza delivered, and Joe's got to sit next to me while he watches his family eat it. That's okay. Hey, we're live at Polly's Pub and Eatery having a ball. Talking to Joe in just a moment about his exciting dirt late model run this summer. Turn your recyclable metals into cash today. All Allied Resource Recovery locations, all three of them are open. In West Dallas at 80th and Burnham, at ARR Waukesha Recycling at 1001 Tesh Court, and at National Salvage on South 44th Street across from where the Milwaukee Brewers play. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com. Hey, the Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals return to LaSalle Speedway tomorrow night, Wednesday night, June 23rd, featuring $5,000 to win UMP late models, UMP modifieds, and UMP street stocks, all in one exciting night. And listen up, Wisconsin race fans, not too far down the road. Next Wednesday night, the Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals invade Beaver Dam Raceway on Wednesday, June 30th. That's next Wednesday, featuring $5,000 to win for the UMP late models. Tickets are $25, students are $15, and kids 11 and under are free. VIP tables at Beaver Dam Raceway for 4 are just $130. Pit gates open at 1, grandstands at 4. The racing starts at 6:30. Be there next Wednesday night, June 30th at Beaver Dam Raceway for the Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals. Hey, tonight on the show, we're having giveaways after the program. Looking forward to seeing you join us. You might win yourself a bottle of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, Joe Barngiorno Racing t-shirt of various sizes. They're pretty cool in ash gray and black. We have die-cast cars from Greenfield Gallery, where they're always buying racing collections. We have a couple of photos of Mary Frauendorf, including a autographed Dick Trickle photo standing by him and his crew with the last car Dick ever drove. That was the Papa John's number 99 we have at the show. That car is now owned by Kirby Kurth. There's a picture of an 8x10 of Dick and the crew signed by Dick that we're giving away after the show tonight, just for stopping down. We also have 2 tickets to the Saturday, June 26th, Dick Trickle 99 Super Late Model Race at Dells Raceway Park. That's this Saturday night. It's round 3 of the Live for 5 series. We have some racing t-shirts from various disciplines, die-cast cars, racing hats, and more. Come on down and join the racing crowd. That's what we're giving away after the show at 7:30 tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report. Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America. They're also celebrating their 30th anniversary as a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. And Joe Bongiorno is now watching his mom get the burger at the Fry's. And I see a big old plate of nachos in front of us. Sorry, Joe, you're still stuck with me. Yeah. Hey, speaking of NASCAR, Josh Bilicki will be bringing his NASCAR Cup Series show car next Tuesday night to display at our race broadcast headquarters, Wilmot Raceway. We're right out front at the front gate during our 6 to 7 p.m. broadcast at the front gate. Bobby G will have his Mid-Am car there. But if you want to see a NASCAR Cup Series car up close, next Tuesday, Wisconsin's only full-time NASCAR driver, Josh Bilicki's bringing his car to our show live at the front gate at Wilmot Raceway 1 week from tonight. Josh did finish 27th in Sunday's inaugural Cup race at Nashville Superspeedway on Sunday. It's another race checked off and dominated by Kyle Larson, his 3rd straight series win, 4th of the year, and 10th in his Cup career. He'll have 2 shots this weekend at Pocono and a Cup doubleheader weekend. I'm saying he'll win one of the 2. At Nashville on the big concrete 1.33-mile oval, Ross Chastain scored 2nd ahead of Stewart-Haas teammates Eric Armarola, who won the pole, and the Gravedigger painted number 4 of Kevin Harvick. His son Keelan had the idea to get a car just like the Gravedigger, and Dad said, sure, why not? And Busch went along with it. That's pretty cool. Kyle Busch won the Xfinity Series race at Nashville Superspeedway on Saturday, his 100th win, but it does sound like he's still racing in this series 2 more times this season. He has a maximum of 5 he can run. He's got 2 more to go, including the Henry 180 at Road America. Justin Allgaier trailed Busch for the 2nd Speedway race this season. In the series, late restarts didn't matter. Allgaier just did not have enough for Kyle Busch's Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, so congrats to Kyle. Harrison Burton in another JGR car finished 3rd. Wisconsin proud Derek Kraus scored his first qualifying pole position for Friday night's NASCAR Truck Series race and won the first stage. He was swept up in a crash while racing for 11th and DNF'd. Cup Series driver Ryan Preece scored the victory in his Truck Series debut driving for DGR. That's David Gilliland Racing. He had fresher right side tires and made the winning pass on Grant Enfinger with 7 laps to go. Preece's teammate Todd Gilliland in a Ford got around Enfinger as well to run 2nd. Ty Majeski scored another impressive 8th place finish in his 2nd and what was to be his final Truck Series starter of the year for ThorSport Racing, but he'll race again. He's on the entry list for this Saturday's Pocono Truck Series race for the team. In the truck race at Nashville, wrapping things up on the Wisconsin scene, Johnny Sauter overcame a pit road speeding penalty to finish 12th. This weekend, there's 5 races and 3 days at Pocono Raceway. I'll be there Friday for the ARCA race, working with the Fox Sports team live on FS1. Sunday is a Cup Truck Twin Bill. Sunday is also a Cup and Xfinity Series race, doubleheader, where recent show guest Sam Mayer will finally get his chance to race full-time the Xfinity Series. He turns 18 on Saturday. Got to be 18 to run in the Cup Series, the big tracks, and wouldn't you know, he's making his debut the day after he turns 18 this Sunday. We'll wish him well in the number 8 Tire Pros Chevy for Junior Motorsports. If you're thinking of going to Road America for their July 1, 2, 3, 4 NASCAR weekend, act now. Go to roadamerica.com to buy your tickets or parking passes. They could be sold out pretty soon. Again, visit roadamerica.com. Hey, live Friday, July 2nd. Yeah, that's during the NASCAR weekend at Road America. I'd like to remind you, we're taking our show for our another DeAngelo's Construction Road Show presented by D&H Sales and Service of Sheboygan. We'll be in Road America's Victory Lane on Friday, July 2nd from 5 to 6. We had a ball this past weekend at the Mile. We did our show live in Victory Lane at Milwaukee Mile, 5 to 6 p.m. Hope you heard it on these stations. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to DeAngelo's Construction and Oak Creek Automotive for jumping on board and doing just a fine job of helping us kick off the weekend, really, for Sunday on Saturday evening after a long day of practice. One more reminder, one of the biggest race weekends in Wisconsin's racing history just got bigger. It all wraps into Road America NASCAR weekend. Sheboygan County Fair Park's Plymouth Dirt Track kicks off Road America's NASCAR weekend on Thursday night, July 1st, with a star-studded bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints Series event. These are the guys driving that we know of so far. NASCAR star Chase Briscoe, All-Star driver Spencer Baston, Wisconsin's all-time sprint car winner Bill Baylog, IRA champ Jake Blackhurst, and Scotty Neitzel, plus many more high-profile entries are still coming in. This is an all-sprint car event, IRA Outlaws, plus 360s too. The tickets available in advance at irasprints.com or at the gate on race night. Come feel the thunder in Plymouth Thursday night, July 1st, to kick off the NASCAR weekend in Plymouth. It's going to be sprint-tacular. We now have a guest sitting right next to me. He's been hanging out, looking at all the food that's going down by his family, and he's up here talking to us. Great to have you back on the show. Let's have a nice racing run-up. Round of applause for Joe Bongiorno for coming down. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for having us, Jim.
We're excited to have you. And I know it's been a busy season thus far, racing in the Dirt Late Model with Mike Formell and the gang. How's the season been going so far?
We had 5 races in our first month of May, and that went pretty good.
Let me know about what you have to do on the car besides everything. There's a lot of people that work on the car, but you have gotten more and more involved, haven't you, on getting that car ready?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you know, the Dirt Late Models are pretty technical nowadays. Chassis setup is pretty important, and there's a lot that goes on with these cars. So, yeah, it's been a big undertaking trying to figure out how to get this thing pointed in the right direction. But I think we're starting to get a good handle on it. And, yeah, it's been fun.
How many years have you been now racing primarily in the Dirt Kings Tour?
I think that this will be our 4th.
Okay. So you got some time, got some experience, but man, those cars are fast. Man, there's guys that just catch fire, and it's like, what am I doing wrong? Nothing. This guy just found it tonight.
Right, exactly. And you're racing against guys that have so much experience. You know, I mean, these guys have been racing Dirt Late Models for longer than I've been alive, some of them. But, you know, that's what it's going to take. And, you know, we've been getting our butt kicked sometimes, but we're not ready to give up yet. And we've been steadily getting better every week. And I'm just really proud of my team for not giving up with me.
Joe, where do you find your strengths are this year? Now that you've got some seat time, you've got those 5 races, and where have you found yourself progressing and advancing and saying, yep, this is right where we want to be?
Yeah, well, like I said, we've been getting better every week, and the car's doing exactly what we want it to do so far. So now we're starting to run with the front runners, and I think before long we're going to find ourselves in victory lane if we keep doing what we're doing. You've
got a teammate in Ron Stryker. He's got a different car number this year. He's been number 33 since they invented the round wheel.
Yes.
Tell us about the fun you guys are having as a team.
Yeah, so this is Ron and Mike's 40th year in racing. They started out back in the Sportsman at Hales Corners, and they've been going strong ever since. And
40 years, and it looks like a big old lug nut in the number.
Right, yeah, that's the 0 is actually the Hex Eagle from the Matco logo.
That's the fancy way to say it's a Matco French and not a lug nut, you bonehead, Jim. You can say it that way if you want.
Yeah, so the 40 is the 0 is the Hex Eagle in there. So, yeah, it looks pretty cool. And, yeah, Mike Borchard did the wraps for our cars again this year like he's been doing, and they turned out fantastic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun knowing you've got a lot of friends from your karting days, winning the Legends Championships to now working in the Dirt Kings Tour. I just want to know how much you can handle when they say, okay, that's Jimmy Mars hauler over there. Hey, I think Feger's running tonight. I mean, there's a lot of different competition, much less really good competition everywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to look at it from you take what the car on the track is going to give you, and you're going to have good nights and bad nights, but you just take what you can learn from everyone and just keep moving forward.
I know you've had a ton of laps at Beaver Dam Raceway, that tight third mile, but also you get to run the big half at Dodge County right down the road. What do you find yourself preferring, or what do you find yourself performing better at a track? Is it a specific track, a specific kind of track surface?
Yeah, I mean, luckily I've gotten a chance to race at a lot of different tracks. We went down in Iowa a couple times with the Legend car, and we've been all over the state of Wisconsin now. But I think right now we're definitely favoring the smaller tracks. The last couple weeks at Plymouth, there's been a pretty decent topside, so I've been able to get some good laps up there, getting the car dialed in, and we got a big race this Friday with the Russ Scheffler Memorial. So,
it is a huge night of racing. We had Brad Miller here last week, and I mean, there's some serious money on the line. It's
exactly.
a grand to finish ninth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chad Marquardt's done a great job of getting sponsors for that race, and it pays over $900 all the way down to 10th place.
Yeah,
so,
it's cool.
For guys like me, that's huge. I know that means a lot to a lot of guys out there racing in the dirt late model world, that it pays out that far down, and it's still $28.74 to win. So that's awesome. It's going to be a great show.
That's this Friday night at Plymouth Dirt Track, the Russ Scheffler Tribute Night. There's a lot of giveaways they do for the drivers. There's driver suits I saw on the list.
Yeah,
there's
they do
money
a lot
thrown
for
out there.
The drivers and the teams to give back. So it's really an awesome event.
So for the fans that come down to Plymouth, don't come full. You want to come hungry, because there's great concession food at Plymouth. And the action's going to be awesome, because that's going to be where you're going to shine, because you know the joint. You've been there the last couple Saturdays. Is it kind of the tune-up for the Russ Scheffler, or is it just a matter of what fit in your schedule?
This last week, we did have a couple outsiders show up, and they're getting ready. So, yeah.
You're saying bring it on. We got this.
Exactly, yeah. We took them on.
When it comes to Plymouth Dirt Track, if you've not been there, fans, you need to get there, especially this Friday night. If you can, get there for Russ Scheffler Tribute Night. I got to track announced there for 2.5 seasons back in the Stone Age. But I enjoyed the racing. I loved the fan reactions, and I really want to know what it's like now that the track's been reconfigured for a dirt late model. You mentioned running the high side. That wall on the front stretch is pretty close to right where I want to get really tracked out.
Right. Well,
that end of the wall is right where you want to aim for, right? With the tail?
Well, first, like you were saying, I just wanted to make a point of how great all the racing is at Plymouth, and the track, the whole facility is great, and it's great for spectating. I think it's probably one of the best tracks to go watch racing at in the state, and you get to watch dirt late models, sprint cars, and stock cars all at the same place. They got good parking, good food. You really can't beat it.
Nice fairground setting as well.
Exactly.
Have you bent some sheet metal on that front stretch wall yet?
Oh, absolutely.
No hesitation.
No, not at all. But yeah, I remember watching the Lucas Oil race the first time the late models came there, and Jimmy Owens running the high side, and he went flying right into that turn 4 wall, because it comes up a lot quicker than you think.
And it ends, thankfully, so you can't get really wrapped up in there. But that means your entry into turn 1's all messed up if you get in that thing, right?
Yeah, and then the wall really floats out back going into 1. So it definitely makes for an interesting line. And, yeah.
We're on the To Tell the Truth tour with Joe Bongiorno right now, and he's going to tell us the truth if you ever went off the backstretch, too, right away. Have you ever gone off the backstretch?
No. Well, luckily they have a wall now there.
All right.
But, yeah, I've heard some stories.
Okay, as long as you didn't have to be part of one of those, because it used to be like, oh, where'd he go? Kind of missing, come back.
I heard Brad Miller liked to just hang in his left front of his Sportsman on there. And
some of those guys got really good at it. Yeah. That's where you wanted to run.
Whatever works.
Because all the dirt slops over there, and you just kind of dig and go. But the racing is outstanding. Do you enjoy racing with certain divisions? Does it matter? Like if you know you're running, say, for example, the MSA 360 wing sprint cars are part of your show, you're racing.
Yeah. So
do you kind of pay attention to that? Do you prefer one over the other?
That's a huge. The order of events for the features and the heat races plays a huge part into how the night goes. Like for this last week, we were the last division out, and there's a pretty good sized cushion up on the high side, and sometimes the 360s run last, and you got Grand Nationals, late models, and B mods all out there. So how the sun sets, the weather. I mean, everything plays into it. So you get a different track every week, but that's dirt racing. That's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, and the first time I really got involved with the atmospheric pressures of things, I saw Sammy Swindell with this wood board out there. He's going to smoke some salmon on the grill. Nope, it had gauges on it.
Yep.
Checking the barometric pressure and how he's going to set the jetting on the carbs and all that stuff. How much involved are you in those decisions or awareness of all of it now?
Oh, well, I try to be involved in every single one of them. But, yeah, I mean, how the car is operating is going to be a key player in your performance on the track. So, like Dick Trickle said, races are won in the garage.
And I've not been able to drive one of these dirt late models, nor probably I will ever. But how much do you just giggle at every now and then when you're like, I got way too much horsepower. This thing's a ball.
They're different race cars. I mean, they're probably some of the most extreme race cars in motorsports. So to be able to get an opportunity to race one of these is a dream come true.
I get a chance to work with Bob Dillner, who covers all the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series stuff for MAV TV. I saw him streaming this past week. They have some big high-dollar shows. How much do you integrate or pay attention to the national cars? Because they literally come and race where you go.
Definitely during the speed weeks when you can watch it on MAV TV. I try and watch all those. And, absolutely. I mean, watching race footage of the professional drivers is something I do all the time to, help develop a strategy, learn how to race, how to set up my race car, all of those things.
And the fans on this Friday at the Rush Sheffer tribute race, you're going to see some cars that look just like the national cars. The front end's all on an angle because you want to seal it off. The right front's going to cave in. I'll call it caving in based upon how you run that thing. When you get the car perfect to those settings, how involved is the right front tire? Because it looks like it's ready to fall off sometimes if the car is just cranking really hard and it's all cranked to the right and you're on the gas.
Yeah, I mean, the car moves more than any other car that you'll see on a racetrack. The left rear picks way up, the right front travels over 4 inches down into the ground. So with that amount of movement, there's a lot of things that you have to do for the suspension to get it to work right, and there's a lot of different adjustments.
So as much as the body gets jacked as they go down the straightaway or into the corner in the left rear, really it's about the left rear tire getting down in the track,
Yeah,
right?
You want that left rear to dig into the clay, and that's how you get your traction. And the mechanical traction that the dirt late models are able to get is what makes, the racing so exciting, because they're able to plant whatever horsepower you have down into that dirt and go forward, and it's just so fast.
Yeah, and you got to adapt and adjust. It's amazing how fast things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be right on, and you got to predict, okay, it's going to seal off, or hey, I think the outside's coming in, or oh my goodness, the outside's gone again. That kind of stuff you really have to play with.
Exactly. And, like you said, paying attention to the track and how that's changing is really one of the most important things.
And who helps you do that? Who's on the crew? Who are the eyeballs? Who's the guy standing on top of the quad in turn 2 while other cars are racing to check things out?
Now this year, my buddy Chris, as you know, he got an ATV, so he brings that to the track every week. So in between every race, we're motoring that thing over there and paying attention to the track and seeing what it's doing between every race.
So you're involved in that look in as well, saying, okay, if we're going to do this, we better do that.
Yep. Yeah. So now, now we've been doing it for a little while, we kind of have an idea of what we're doing better.
Good.
For, dry track, we're going to do this. If the track's going this way, we're going to do that.
Speaking of Joe Bongiorno, drives the number 55. He'll be in action this coming Friday night. Dirt Kings are coming. All the big stars are coming. Friday night, the Plymouth Dirt Track is going to have a huge Rush Sheffer tribute night. Who's on your crew, and who are the sponsors making this season possible for you, Joe?
Yeah, so the sponsors, we got Matco Tools, Formella Enterprises, Alice Automotive, CNS Transportation, and Conway Shield and Equipment.
That's a lot of people. That's good.
Yep, and on the crew, we got Mike Formella, my dad, Guber Tefelsky, Chris Rice, Joe Vitale, and my Grandpa Ray.
Cool. And who'd y'all bring tonight to the show that's eating the food in front of you that you can't have?
Yeah, we got my parents, my sister, and my grandma and grandpa.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How many races did they all get to go to? Is it a mandatory?
My grandma and grandpa go to every race that they possibly can.
Oh, wow. Awesome. That's very cool.
Yep, and they've been supporting me very strong ever since I started in go-karting, so that's awesome.
Where can the fans, if they can't make it this Friday night, Joe, where can we find you? Where can we look for you online? Where can we keep up to date with what's going on in your racing schedule?
Oh, you can find us on Facebook on Joe Bongiorno Racing.
That's easy.
Yeah.
After this weekend, where are you going to race?
We are going to be running Plymouth pretty steadily, and then you can pay attention to our Facebook page for what Dirt King events we're going to be doing after that.
Awesome. So you'll see on this Friday in action at the Plymouth Dirt Track, the Rush Hour Tribute Night. Look for the 55 going to the front. How about I stand for Joe Bongiorno? Joe, thanks for coming on.
Thanks
We
for
really
having us,
appreciate
Jim.
it. Thanks for bringing the shirts down as well. We'll give those away after the show. You can wear them proudly in the stands anytime you see Joe racing. Joe Bongiorno Racing on Facebook. And make sure you sign our backdrop, if you would mind, the Bob Trado Sign Runner backdrop. We've got a lot to cover on this here program. Hope you stick around and join us. We have Cole Thomas. He races a late model at the Dells, at Slinger, sometimes at other tracks. We'll find out more about this young driver as he's racing his way into a top 5 position in the points again at Slinger Super Speedway. Lots of racing heading into that quarter mile. They got rained out Sunday, but you know the big Slinger Nationals are coming, and the prelude to the Nationals is the big time where Cole can shine on that Sunday night, July 4th. So looking forward to talking to Cole about that here in a few moments. Also on the program, Camden Murphy's going to be on the program after 7, and we're talking to Steve Zotke about a really cool IndyCar meet, and the IndyCars are all front engine. They don't allow many of the rear engine IndyCars, so if you know how long it's been since they run those, they're in pristine condition. They're coming to the Milwaukee Mile July 9 and 10, the Harry A. Miller Club meet. More info on that on this edition of the show. We're live at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Come on down and join the racing crowd.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back. ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, it's the Trickle 99, Round 3 in the Alive for 5 Series. Come see the nation's best super late model drivers competing for $5,000 to win in side-by-side heart-pounding action. The UMA 602 late models and INEX Legends add to the excitement. Gates open at 3, green flag racing at 6. Get advance tickets now. Go online to DellsRacewayPark.com. To cap off the night, a huge fireworks extravaganza. The Trickle 99 this Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Wolf Paving Raceway, home of the Badger Kart Club in Dousman. Most Sundays from April through September, Club Championship Points Racers and National Touring Series will race on the challenging paved road course. 4 bank turns have been added and provide new challenges for Wolf Paving Raceway, already one of the finest kart racing tracks in the country. Kart racing offers competition for racers of all ages, from 5 to 80. There are 15 classes and over 100 entries a week. Race where Ellen Kowicki, Danica Patrick, and Josh Palicki got their start. Spectator admission is always free. Walk the pits, talk to the racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand, too. Bring the whole family and check out kart racing for yourself. Wolf Paving Raceway is just south of I-94, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. Take the Highway 67 Dousman-Oconomowoc exit, head south to Highway 18, then west to Grambling Road. For all the latest information and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Visit our show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
The NASCAR Cup Series. We are
Racing Roundup Show is brought to you by Jockey. Don't miss the Jockey Made in America 250, July 4th at Road America in Elkhart Lake.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. We love to have you as part of our program. If you want to join us, go to our website, racingroundup.net. That's where you can look on the links for our live button. We can watch our show live. You also can click on that live button after the show, and it'll give you an archive menu when you pop on that page and click on the archives and watch any show you'd like that we've had, including this past Saturday's D'Angelo's Construction Road Show, presented by Oak Creek Automotive, live inside the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. We're taking our show on the road next Tuesday night as well. The D'Angelo's Road Show is presented by CK Contractors. Next Tuesday, we're live at the front gate at Wilmot Raceway. Big night of racing, 3 points nights because it's Independence Day weekend. They're not racing on July 4th. They're racing on Tuesday, June 29th. So we're going to join the racing crowd. We're going to have a ball, so I hope you can join us there. More information on our website. Click on the schedule page, racingroundup.net. All of our webcasting and all the cool stuff we do on Facebook Live is a big thanks to Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. If you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, choose Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. You want to list and buy with confidence, you need to hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Visit mattrapina.com, mattrapina.com. It's time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. For camera and alarm systems for your home or business, programmed card access and gun safes, it's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling Bonafide Security Solutions at 262-790-9400 or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. It was a huge race weekend at the Milwaukee Mile for the ARCA Midwest Tour and Midwest Truck Series. Not so much for the Mid-Am cars. They got rained out on Sunday, unfortunately, but they had a good practice day on Saturday and got some track time on Sunday. They'll be back on August 29th weekend at the Mile with the Big 8 Series and the ARCA Menard Series. More on that in just a minute. For the racing that happened on Sunday, Ty Majeski set fast time and worked his way from 17th to contention before a 30-lap pit stop. The top 13 cars stayed out, and Ty passed them all by lap 57 to lead again and led to lap 81 when the skies opened and the race was called complete. Jonathan Island led early, then recent show guests Luke Fenhouse and Dalton Zier tangled on the backstretch while racing for the lead when Ty was kind of holding on to a top 5 run at the time. Gabe Summers came on our special show Saturday live in the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. Our D'Angelo's Construction Road Show was a lot of guests on. Thanks to Oak Creek Automotive for making that possible. Gabe said on that show he wanted to finish top 5. Well, Gabe finished second at Ty Majeski with 2019 mile winner Austin Nason turning his season around in the ARCA Midwest Tour with a third-place finish. Rich Bickle made 2 pit stops to adjust his car and pack it with fuel on lap 45, one of the few guys to come down and do that. Fuel window was about 55 laps, so that might have been the winning move because others would have to come to pit again. They got the car done, got off the jack stands. He raced the pace car down pit road. The race went green. He ended up getting lapped at that moment as the other cars were up to speed on the track faster, but I think he would have had a chance had the rain not shortened the race. He was credited with 27th, but he had a plan, and if he had to come in on lap 45, he would have got his pits out of the way, and everybody else would have had to come at least one more time, I think. The Bickle Bon Voyage is a big success. Another cabin sold this past weekend at the Mile. So if you want to get involved, go to Bickle's Bon Voyage on the Facebook page. Our Greg Lapine tonight has raffle tickets if you want to buy 2 cabins. You can 2 people can go on the Bickle's Bon Voyage cruise January 22nd through 29. They're $20 each. Greg has them in hand. All proceeds go to the breast cancer awareness in honor of Richie's mom's name. So if you want to help out and you want to win it rather than buy your own passage, we have the Bickle Bon Voyage raffle tickets here for a raffle ticket to give away 2 slots on the Bickle's Bon Voyage in January. Find out more on their Facebook page or buy those tickets here tonight. Wrapping up the racing at the ARCA Midwest Tour run on Sunday at the Mile, 10th place finisher Mark Krause returned to driving his family race car for first time in 5 years against his son Derek Krause. For the very first time in the same race, Derek fought handling issues after starting close to the front and finished 21st. Ty Majeski has now won on every Wisconsin paved track he's raced on. Yeah, every track. Road America, he won a Trans Am race. He went 3 wide into turn 1 on the last lap and won that one. I was there for that. But he's won on every track he's raced on pavement in Wisconsin. It's pretty impressive. His 27th career ARCA Midwest Tour victory came here at the Milwaukee Mile, his win for the first time there. He'll be racing this Thursday as he's on the entry list this Saturday he'll be racing the NASCAR Truck Series at Pocono. That's the 3rd race added to his schedule after those 2 top 10 runs he's had for Thor Sport Racing, where he's been working since March 1st as an engineer, get ready for driving when it's his opportunity. Ty Majeski is the race winner. We mentioned the top 3. My race recap with top 3 interviews, well, they can be seen on Speed 51's social channels. I had a blast working the race for Speed 51's pay-per-view. The Midwest Truck Series, man, what a show that was. If you were not able to see it, should be on the re-air of the Speed 51 online coverage. Recent show guest Chester Ace worked his way into the lead late in the Bellegarde, paving the way 20 on the mile. He was started next to our Saturday show guest James Swan, and the pair waged a frantic run to the finish. There was great racing throughout the field, but after the white flag, attention turned to the 2 leaders. Ace led Swan by inches down the backstretch. Entering turn 3. Swan made his move to the low line. Ace stayed middle up. The pair squared off of turn 4. Ace was slightly ahead on top. He made a swerving move to his left to attempt to hold off Swan's advance. Swan dipped lower on the front stretch, and the drag race was on. Swanee won by 12 inches at the stripe. Swan won the race and won the after party, too. He was the last one to leave. He might still be there. I don't know. But when I left, he was still in the infield. Tailgate down, truck in the rain. Didn't matter. Congrats, Swanee. The Mid-American Stock Car Series feature was rained out and reportedly will be added to the Sprecher 150 Arkham and Orange Series Big 8 Series race weekend, August 28 and 29 at the mile. And news came out this weekend. Thanks to Trek Enterprises for their commitment to promote races on the mile. When they come back, August 28 and 29, you can now buy discounted race tickets for the August 29th race at any Menard store in our listing area. Also, you'll get a free ticket to the race for every case you buy between now and August 28th of Sprecher root beer and a special yellow case at Menard stores. All 335 stores will carry these boxes full of root beer. If you buy a case, you get a ticket. Buy 10 cases, you get 10 tickets. You have to redeem those original receipts at the mile. So it's pretty cool. They're doing that now through August 28th at Menard stores. Again, special thanks to D'Angelo's Construction and Oak Creek Automotive. We had a great time Saturday in the sunshine before Sunday's action, so we got a great time to talk to a bunch of drivers as well. CK Contractors brings us the Wilmot Raceway results. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, excavating, and grading, demolition, retention, pond, building, and more. Log on to CK Contractors LLC today. We'll be live next Tuesday night at the front gate at Wilmot Raceway thanks to CK Contractors with another D'Angelo's Construction Road show at 6 o'clock. That will replace our show from here at Pauley, so we'll be going down there for the entire show for the hour. 3 weekly racing divisions will be in action this Tuesday for their only points race of the week next Tuesday on the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. We'll also have Wisconsin's only full-time NASCAR Cup Series driver Josh Boyke there with his NASCAR show car, plus Bobby G on displaying his Oak Creek Automotive-sponsored Mid-Am stock car at the front gate. Join the racing crowd on Tuesday night at Wilmot Raceway. They're racing there this Saturday as well with the MSA 360s joining the card. In terms of results from Wilmot, well, the racers completed this past Friday night they did. Chris Carlson is now 7 for 7 on the year in modified feature wins. He passed Steve Miller with 5 to go. Nick Simons ran third. Ryan Zielski survived caution periods and 2 red flag stoppages to earn the wingless sprints feature victory. This Saturday, the MSA 360 sprinters joined the program. Details are at wilmotraceway.com. I'd like to remind you again, Tuesday night, June 29th, it's fireworks night. It's also car load night, $25 for the entire car, as long as everybody's got a seatbelt. It's going to be cool. And did I say fireworks? I think I said fireworks, right? There's fireworks on Tuesday night at Wilmot Raceway, where we're doing our show live at the front gate. All the info is at wilmotraceway.com. Looking at other tracks around the state of Wisconsin, Madison International Speedway winners Friday night at Wisconsin's fastest half mile were Zach Riddle in NASCAR Weekly Late Models, Ronnie Osborne in Bandits, and Dan Bishop in 6 shooters. This Friday night is the Salute to Dairyland 100 USAC Silver Crown Series race. Yep, the Silver Crown cars are coming to Madison this Friday. Plus 602 late models on the Midwest Dash. Visit misracing.com. Chase McDermott won again in Badger Midget action at Seymour Speedway, Illinois. The next Badger Midget race at Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie is this Sunday night. The Norm Nelson Classic night will also feature the IRA Outlaw Sprints and Wisconsin Dirt Legends. More at angelpark.racing online. Jeff Van Oudenhoven won the rain-shortened super late model feature. It was WIR in Kokona. It was his first feature win in 3 years for the 5-time track champ. And good news, my nephew Travis Rodewald in late models is still leading the point standings as their feature got washed out. They're racing Tuesday night, August 3rd, the Gander Auto Group 250. That's the big Tuesday night special for the Archimedes Tour. And guess what? We'll be live there, too, at the front gate. Why not, right? Take the show on the road. August 3rd, another date to jot down for our Tuesday show. Going on the road, thanks to D'Angelo's Construction and Lake Park Pub in Menasha. We're going to be live at the front gate on that program night. It was a washout slinger this past Sunday. We broke the news on Saturday's show that NASCAR star Eric Jones will be racing as a teammate to John D'Angelos Jr. at the Slinger Nationals. The date of that is Tuesday night, July 6th. Tickets are now available for the 42nd annual Supply Zone Slinger Nationals presented by Miller Lite and Wellbam. We'll be live at the front gate with our show, the D'Angelo's Construction Road Show presented by Oak Creek Automotive at the Slinger Nationals. Thanks to Big Guys Sports Bar in Hartford as well. Big Guys Sports Pub in Hartford. A great sponsor of our program. That's Tuesday night, July 6th. Tony Stewart beat all the superstars to the finish line at Knoxville Raceway in the SRX race live on CBS. 1.2 million viewers tuned in. Set your DVR for Marco Andretti and other racers at Eldora Speedway this Saturday on CBS. They head to Slinger with the SRX Stars on July 10th. That's a couple Saturdays from now. Dells Raceway Park is racing this Saturday night in the Trickle 99. We have tickets to give away tonight. That's the round 3 of the Alive for 5 series. Look for all the stars of Super Late Model Racing Wisconsin to go to the Dells to race this Saturday in the Trickle 99. Details at dellsracewaypark.com. That should do it about the racing scene and results. We want to talk to a young driver who's been patiently waiting his turn to hang out with us for the first time on the Racing Roundup show. Let's welcome in the driver of that number 91 late model from Slinger and the Dells and other places, Cole Thomas. Cole, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
In talking to you and your mom before the show, this is your first radio show opportunity, but more importantly, this is not the first time you've been racing up front at Slinger and the Dells and other places. How long have you been racing a limited late model?
This will be my 4th year.
All right. And you went right into this, right?
Yeah, this was it. We bought a limited and off we went.
So you went to the track, dirt track, watched your dad race. You raced at Slinger for a bunch of years. You kind of grew up there, you're telling me, before the show. What made you decide to make that jump? Most guys may do a bandit or a sportsman or something like that, or a hobby stock. You said, nah, I'm going limited lates.
Well, we ran a few practices before the year and figured seemed ready, so just started in the back for the first half of my first year and just kept going and progressing.
And you progressed to 5th in the points last year. That's a stiff competition at the Slinger Speedway when it comes to late models. What have you found the most fun now that you're in your second car after, a couple years of racing the first one you tried?
Well, it shows you how tough they are to set up. I mean, it's a lot of fun learning about that side of the world, though.
Was it you and 2 other people, 5 other people, or were you doing a lot of the work yourself and learning this progression?
Well, we've got 3 people on our crew. That's
okay.
All we got.
Who are they?
That's me, Jeff, and my mother. That's pretty much how we started.
Wow. That's a lot of work to do to get that successful. Run top 10 almost every week to get that high in the points.
Oh, yeah. Lots of trial and error.
Are you reading books? Are you calling guys? Are you sneaking some information? You told me before the show you bought this car for Chris Radicek, who's helped out a bunch of racers over time.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much everything you just said. Reading, talking to people, whatever you can get.
And when it comes to the Slinger, there's restrictions on how many tires you can get. You don't know if there's going to be 25 cars or 40 cars showing up. The Big 8 Series was there this year. How much fun is that keying in on one primary track for you guys?
Oh, it's a great time, especially since I grew up there. It makes me want to progress so much better there than other places, but other places are a good time as well.
And you've raced at the Dells Raceway Park. Is it the same car you used at Slinger that you race at Dells and other tracks?
Nope. I got one car primarily for Slinger and the other one's for traveling.
All right. And how often do you think you'll bring that one out this summer?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest.
It depends how Sundays go, right?
Pretty much.
Hey, I mentioned before, the Slinger Nationals are coming up on July 6th, but in reality, it's like another big late model show that Sunday, July 4th, the prelude to the Nationals. How much work goes into that with an extended lap feature versus the usual 30 or 40 or 50 lap race you'll get on a Sunday night in a late model?
Well, I just try not to think about it. I don't like stress about it.
I can tell. Yeah.
Just same old mindset, 40 laps, same as normal.
Okay. All right.
Just get through it.
No added pressure, no worries that, Eric Jones might be watching what you do on the track because he got there early after whatever.
Oh, as you know, I don't need no more added pressure. Let's stick with the amount we got.
When it comes to racing there, we've talked to different drivers that run late models, and some have run super lates and gone on to go back to the late models. Do you find yourself gauging yourself off of certain drivers in the points, whether it be, we've had Ryan Gudnick on the show a number of times, we've had other drivers when it comes to just kind of seeing where you're at? Do you gauge specific drivers that you look at to say, am I better than him tonight or not, or her?
Well, I don't know. I try not to look at that too because that kind of ruins the fun. It's more fun go run as hard as you can and see where you are.
With the reality of tires being what they are, there may be a shortage. We don't know. Have you guys changed your tire plan? How many tires you go to, or how early you get to the track to get some practice laps in at Slinger or other tracks?
Oh no, we don't even run much practice. It'll mess up my line for qualifying. So gotta stick to 6 laps.
Hey, and speaking of qualifying, you want to talk about pressure? My goodness, I was up at Slinger a couple of weeks ago, filling in for Dean Strom, and then working with Dean on a late model night. I can't tell you how fast that is, how close you guys are in speeds.
Yeah, you can cover the whole field with a blanket. It's awesome.
And racing's really close too.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy watching late models. I mean, super late models. It seems like there's 4 or 5 guys that kind of sort out. Not in late models, not at all. The night I was there, it was Justin on the other side wasn't there, but I didn't care. I would have had a ball watching you guys run. Do you enjoy racing the outside line right now? Is that the one that's coming in at Slinger more so than the bottom?
Oh, I've always liked the outside more than the inside. It just gives you a little bit added edge because it's not as good of a line. It's not the preferred line.
So I'm a wannabe driver, so I actually was at Slinger. I was in a media race. This is years ago. This is probably before you were born. And off of turn 4, I realized there's a transition when the ramp kind of comes down on the track and then the racetrack banking kind of matches there. There's a fine line of going, oh, crap, what did I just do? Because that drops off a little bit. Have you ever found the dance right there like I did?
Oh, yeah. I've hit the wall out of 4 before. Yeah.
But I'm not alone, am I?
No, it hurts a little bit more than you think it does, too.
Yeah, it does. It did a lot, actually. I ended up nosing the hobby stock, thank you, White Wolf, into the front flag stand, right? Boop. I lost it, tried to save it because I'm not good. And I nosed it in and bent the horns on the thing.
Yeah, that wall is not very forgiving, is it?
How has your racing season gone thus far to sit 7th in points? Any disasters, any top 5 runs you want to brag about?
Well, at the beginning of the year, we weren't quite ready for the year to start yet.
Okay.
So we didn't do as well as I wanted to, and we had a tire go down, which didn't help. The second race was pretty good. I think that was our top 5. And then Sunday, we crashed pretty good. But I can't really say it's bad or good because we've had a lot of good with the bad. So
yeah. And the car you got off of Girls Without a Check, is it new to you? Is it a fairly new car that he built and put together for you? Do you know any of the history behind the chassis you run?
Oh no, I don't know much about it. He built it, and then we kind of took it from there. And every year we've been stripping it down, rebuilding it, trying to make it better.
You and your mom and a couple other people have done all this work.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we're trying.
You got to learn on the go. There's no one else to teach you, right? You got to kind of figure it out.
Right.
Who are the sponsors you guys have for your team? I'm sure they're pretty impressed with what you guys have going on.
Well, I've got Wisconsin Short Track Racing who hopped on this year. He's a real nice guy. Thierry's Race Engines, they've helped us out a lot. I don't think we'd be racing without him. And Dash Accounting, who is actually my mother.
Awesome. And I want to ask one more question about Dells Raceway Park and how different it is. You have a different car, you said, but how different is it racing at the Dells on Saturday nights against that strong field of cars when you have a chance to race there?
Oh, that's a whole different group. I don't know if it's more fun, but it's pretty close. I have a good time there.
And what's the secret? Tell just you and me talking now. What's the secret of getting on the Dells?
Oh, I don't have that.
What's the secret about getting on Slinger?
I don't have that either.
Love the honesty, Cole, and it's been a lot of fun chat with you. The time flew by, man. As much as you were kind of reserved about, I don't know if I want to do this radio show thing, I like the fact that you finished 5th in points last year. You've already won Rookie of the Year there. You've already won a feature at the Dells. Tell us about how that went before we turn you loose, because you got to brag about the successes. You're on the cusp of another one, it sounds like.
Oh, I got nothing to brag about.
Well, you won at the Dells. How'd that go?
Yeah, well, we showed up for their 2-day show at the end of the year. I forget what it's called, but
the Halloween or the Showdown or something like that?
Showdown, that's it.
Yep.
We showed up late and had to figure it out, and those were really my first laps in a late model.
Dick Trickle did that pretty good for a long time, showing up late, cars already running on the hauler. You showed up late, didn't know any better, and you won?
Well, we made some adjustments, didn't qualify very well, and ended up starting outside pole, and away I went. That was pretty much it.
Cool. A win's a win, man. That's awesome.
Take them how you can, right?
I love it. Exactly. Hard-working team. Find out more. Where can we find out what you're doing? Is it on Facebook or just see them at the racetrack on Sunday if you want to hand you a fistful of dollars to buy some tires?
Well, I got a Facebook page and Instagram, Cole Thomas Racing.
Okay.
And then that'll tell you where to go, what track I'll be at.
Good. Well, follow along. You'll be racing where this weekend, Cole?
This weekend we're going to Jefferson.
Okay. Saturday night?
Yep.
That's another whole field of cars, including Jerry Eckhart and the bunch.
Oh, yeah.
And the Nottastads. There's like 17 of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Hey, it's been fun having you on the show. You did a great job. How about I say for Cole Thomas joining us here tonight?
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Make sure you sign our backdrop. All the racers on the show get to sign the backdrop, and we're having a lot of fun. We're coming right back with more on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back. Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250 They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m., and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Bergie's Pub and Prime in Caledonia is your destination for mouth-watering prime rib dinners and sandwiches and awesome pub burgers. Enjoy the soup of the day, wings, incredible steak sandwiches, and the area's best homemade pizza. Try Bergie's Friday Fish Fry, weekend breakfast menu, or one of their scrumptious daily specials. Bergie's Pub and Prime is a proud sponsor of the Gooteneck Racing Team. Bergie's is just minutes south of the Milwaukee Airport off of I-94 at the 7 Mile Road exit. Head east 2 blocks and hang a left on Frontage Road till it ends. Like them on Facebook, Bergie's Pub and Prime.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Visit our show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
Time with the loved ones you want to protect. Go to ethoslife.com today to apply in minutes. That's ethoslife.com. Ethos Technologies, Inc. operates in some states as Ethos Life Insurance Services. Not available in all states.
The Racing Roundup Show is brought to you by Jockey. Don't miss the Jockey Made in America 250, July 4th at Road America in Elkhart Lake.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show live on your radio on the Big 920 Milwaukee. We're live in Madison this week on Wednesday night. We're also live on 1070thegame.com. Looking forward to seeing you. Join us on our Facebook feed. We'll have a, just like our show on Facebook, click on that, and every time we do a show, you'll get a little notification. And looking forward to seeing you join the racing crowd on a given Tuesday here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, where we're hanging out tonight. Next Tuesday, I'd like to remind you again, we are live at Wilmot Raceway. It's the DeAngelis Construction Road Show presented by CK Contractors. We're live at the front gate next Tuesday night. 2 Tuesdays from now, July 6th, we'll be live at the front gate at Slinger Super Speedway with another DeAngelis Construction Road Show. That will be happening thanks to our friends at Big Guys Pub in Heartland and a great sports bar. Big Guys Pub in Hartford. It's a sports bar. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thanks to DeAngelis Construction and Oak Creek Automotive for making it possible as well. Hey, the Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals return to LaSalle Speedway tomorrow night, June 23rd, featuring $5,000 to win, UMP late models, UMP modifieds, and UMP street stocks all in one night. Tomorrow night And then, Wisconsin race fans, the Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals heads to Beaver Dam Raceway. They invade next Wednesday, June 30th, featuring $5,000 to win, the UMP late models. Tickets are $25, students are $15, kids at 11 under are free. VIP tables at Beaver Dam Raceway for 4 are just $130. That's all this coming Wednesday night, June 30th. Pit gates open at 1 p.m., grandstands at 4, racing starts at 6:30. Again, be there next Wednesday night, June 30th, Beaver Dam Raceway for the Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals. This portion of our show is brought to you by our good friends at Miller's Sales and Service. It will be worth a short drive to Random Lake to get you a great deal on your next boat, trailer, pre-owned car, or truck. Brad Miller and their experienced family of employees will find you what you're looking for. The number to call for everything on land or water is 920-994-4358. We now welcome in a friend of the show. He's been hanging out with the Miller Club meet forever. And I tell you it's forever because it's a cherished memory every time they get a chance to take laps on the Milwaukee Mile. Last year, COVID prevented it. But if you want to see Art on Wheels, the history of American open wheel racing, it all comes to the Milwaukee Mile on July 9 and 10. It's a Friday and a Saturday. And Steve Zocchi, you've been involved in this for quite some time. Thanks for coming on the show and telling us more about it. Glad to see you.
I appreciate you having me. Yeah, we've been doing this since 1995.
That's almost forever.
Yeah, and we celebrated our 25th anniversary in 2019, and then last year happened. So
the cars, though, we got to talk about the cars. They are the stars, and thanks to you, I got a ride in a 1935 Indianapolis 500 driven two-seat Indy car on the mile. And that's just a representation of what you can see people out there doing their thing, taking laps.
That was a Miller Ford. That was a project that Harry Miller developed with Henry Ford back in 1935. And somewhat like today with the Indy car, with some of the tubs being used forever, actually those chassis were sometimes used for 10, 12 years. And one of those cars from that class, like you drove in, I mean, we ran until almost early 50s. So, but the Harry Miller Club is open for all Indy cars, front-engine Indy cars from 1965 and prior, dating back. The earliest one that we're going to have is a 1906 Locomobile.
Jeez. Is it steam engine?
No, brass. We did have a steam car one year.
Wow.
We did, yes.
That's the crazy thing. It's awesome to know who may or may not be coming. It's amazing. Who does?
It was a Stanley steamer from Michigan. It got on the ferry, came and drove here.
Wow. Wow.
It's a remarkable car, and yeah, it was quite reliable, and he had no issues with it. And
then I'm telling you, there's like 40 cars on average, maybe?
Well, we cap it at 60, and we're already at 50.
Yeah.
So 50 cars. We hope to have a few more late arrivals coming in. But yeah, from Indy, the popular, I'll be honest, the most popular cars are, of course, the Indianapolis Roadsters, made famous by drivers like Roger Ward, A.J. Foyt, Billy Vukovich, and Jimmy Bryan. We have a bunch of those coming in, including, if you watch the Mecum auction, they had the Parnelli Jones collection.
I did see that, yeah.
Yes, that Roadster that was built by Chris Paulson.
It's an identical copy.
Identical copy, sold for over $300,000. Wow. That car will be here this weekend. Or
July 9 and 10 at the Milwaukee Mile, and you get in by buying a pit pass. It's like $25, $30, something like that.
And it's good for both days.
Yeah. So it's like $25?
It's one of the best deals you can get.
And the great thing about it is everyone's passionate about their cars. You can walk right up to the cars. When the cars go and exercise on the track, you can stand right along pit road. Just make sure you stay out of the way. And really, it's a fun. I got the luxury, and somehow you said, Jim, you want to go for a ride? And it didn't take me long to say yes. But there are friendly people that you can talk to about the cars. They are so passionate about what they bring to the track and how much they get excited about seeing other cars kind of like theirs or different than theirs one time a year at the mile.
Well, it's the stories behind these cars that makes it so interesting. Yeah, and if you walk to an owner who has a car, you can ask him about the car. He'll be more than happy to tell you the history of it. And even if it's a replica car, some of those it's interesting how they come about it. Some of them are powered by Alfa Romeo engines. And the reason why they're powered by Alfa Romeo engines, it's a Fiat and Alfa had a 1.8 liter. It's a double overhead cam engine, as was the Offenhauser. So when it's running with straight exhaust, if it hits the right pitch, it has it doesn't sound exactly like an Offenhauser, but you can get a little bit of that roar from an Offenhauser from those engines.
I'm glad you said Offenhauser. For those who like history like I do, and if you don't, this is fascinating. Harry A. Miller was a Wisconsin native that ended up selling his engine to become the Offenhauser.
Yes.
Tell us about Harry's history and how much he was a chassis guy and an engine guy. And a lot of his cars ran at the Indy 500 that had his chassis and his engine.
Born in Menominee, Wisconsin. That's the one in the West End, not up north. And Harry was a genius. In 1915, Bob Berman was running a Peugeot. World War I occurred, and he couldn't send his engine back to get rebuilt. So he brought it over to Harry Miller, who had a fledgling business at the time, just doing carburetors. He rebuilt that motor, and Harry's looking at the engine, and that was the first double overhead cam engine. And he's like, I think I can make this. And Peugeot wasn't going to complain about it because they were in the midst of making World War I engines for their fighter planes over in Europe. So he developed that engine, and then eventually he was an awful businessman, though. He was such as a lot of geniuses are. If you're a genius in one area, sometimes you lack in another, and that was the same with Harry. He just was not a businessman. He went bankrupt a couple of times. Finally, Fred Offenhauser bought the remnants of his engine business and put his name on it, and the rest is history, as they say.
But Harry also designed chassis. I saw one at the Miller meet a few years back.
Yeah.
And we're talking about external suspension components on the front of the car. You're like, oh, man, yeah, they're all teardrop and everything else in the 90s and Champ car, the wishbones and everything. They were teardrop poured lead, airplane wing style looking fashioned external parts outside the body already.
Yeah.
Aerodynamics were huge, and they spent a lot of time crafting artwork that became IndyCar parts.
In the 1920s, they changed the formula. If you look at the old, like you look at Ray Haroon and the Marvin Waspin, those big, huge, hulking cars.
It's like a one-car garage on
with
wheels.
Cylinders the size of coffee cans, and as they started to size them down because people were just building bigger and bigger motors, Indianapolis changed the rules and they went with a smaller formula, if you want to call it, and they went to the single-seat IndyCar. Small design, everything was compact, and those cars, especially in the board tracks, they could go easily. They averaged up to 141 miles an hour was the record by Ralph Hepburn in Miami, and those board tracks. And you're talking about a little small car, very narrow, with a tread, just a few inches. And those guys to do that in a cloth helmet, buzzing around a board track, or even Indianapolis on the bricks at that kind of speed, it takes a special guy to do that.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, Steve Zocchi's quite the historian when it comes to these kinds of race cars, these kinds of people. You get to hang out with these people all the time. You've written for the historic magazines. You now have a podcast, Traction Reaction Podcast. Do you get guests on like a Parnelli hanging out with you, or if you get a chance to see these guys, you rub elbows with some pretty famous guys that have quite a bit of history in racing.
This past week we had Alexander Rossi. He didn't work out so well this week, last weekend, but Alex Blow we had on last week. One of the nicest guys.
And he won the IndyCar at Road America, for those who didn't know.
It's fantastic, and just he's been taking the paddock by storm. He's become so popular, and if you saw him yesterday after the race, signing autographs and autographing hats, everything, real popular. The fans were all cheering for him yesterday, and we've been doing. We kind of do the same thing as I've been doing in the past for the past 10+ years, a mix of NASCAR, IndyCar, open wheel stuff, and we also do the historical stuff with the same group of guys. Jeff Orlowski, David Hobbs is our F1 guy. Tony DiZino is coming aboard as our IndyCar guy, so a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I know the history in Wisconsin of open wheel racing. It all comes to the mile, July 9 and 10 for the Harry A. Miller Club meet. And it's a wonderful day, but it's not a super long day either. So where can we find out more information as we tell people to get planned for that weekend? Because Friday is a longer day than Saturday, if I recall.
Yeah, it starts Friday early at 9 o'clock. Come on out, and you go to harrymillerclub.com for information. But if you come in, you can just drive up and buy tickets too. Drive up through the tunnel, and at the edge of the tunnel, you can get signed in and buy a pass. And like I said, it's good for both days. And what's nice about that, it's a full day on Friday. It's supposed to be a full day on Saturday, but a lot of guys are thinking, well, let's see, if we beat traffic, if we leave now, we can beat that Chicago traffic.
Yeah, you want to wait to cut the grass till after you go to the mile on Saturday, because it may be a shorter day than published.
Usually about 2 o'clock it starts really lightening up at the track on Saturday. But Friday is the full day, but there's still a lot of activity going on. at the track on Saturday.
So various cars go out at various times. Some may sit there for hours. Maybe the guys are trying to cool it down or trying to find a part or networking with others. I mean, it's kind of a fun conglomeration. It's an active, flowing paddock of people that are so passionate about this. Are any cars coming that you can help? It's kind of like tantalize and say, hey, this is the car that's coming that this guy drove at the Indy 500. I know that information will come out eventually on the website. Are there any committed teams or drivers that are coming to support this? I know I saw A.J. Watson, the famous mechanic for years and years and years for Roger Ward and the leader car team. He would show up every year here without a doubt. So you might see guys like that showing up. Anything notable as far as cars and people coming?
Well, Dana Meekum, of course, who runs the Meekum auction, is bringing out 4 or 5 cars. And once again, is the Rex Mays pole winner from Indianapolis, 1935 and 36. He also has the 1949 Indy 500 winner, and also the car that finished second, the Blue Crown car, beautiful car. But also Bobby Green. Bobby Green is a really interesting guy, young kid, younger than me, and he owns the Ralph De Palma Miller car from 1933. It's a two-seater.
Wow.
They went back to the two-seaters for a brief time in the 1930s. And he is a guy you probably, if you saw him, you probably go, he looks familiar. He's been on TV. He's on a lot of these gearhead shows, Motor Trend TV and that. Owns and restores antique restaurants in the Southern California.
Oh, wow.
So he's
cool.
a really, if you look him up on the internet, really neat guy and does a lot of neat things. And he just found, I believe he's the one that found like a Porsche road speedster in a barn somewhere, and just he's a neat guy. He's also just as neat to talk to.
Yeah, and these guys are approachable. They're hanging out. They're talking. If they get a run going, they might say, "Hey, can you watch it or stop?" You might get involved. Can you film this for me? Can you stopwatch run this thing for me? It's really a fun atmosphere. July 9 and 10 at the Milwaukee Mile, the Miller Club meet. And you mentioned you're at Road America this past weekend, so the history lives on. IndyCar has been at Road America since 1982 when Hector Vaque won the first one. But in reality, there's a lot of history and lineage there. That was somewhat on display this past weekend. I know our friend Jacques Driesen got to exercise his Gurney Eagle on the track. That's got to be kind of fun coming off of that high for you, knowing as involved as you are in open wheel.
Yeah, it is. And they are that group that's led by Mike Lashmitt. They'll be at Gateway coming up later this summer, and also Nashville. So it'll be kind of neat seeing those cars on a street circuit. It's such a tight street circuit, and so it should be a lot of fun. And the fans really enjoy it. And what's nice, we get a nice crossover of those owners that run that series with us. Like Bruce Linsmeyer is running a Roadster for the Miller Week, and he's the fellow that owns the Joe Leonard STP Turbine.
Wow.
That's real popular.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It is.
That engine's in the back, though.
It's in the back.
Kind of on the side in the back.
Yeah. And he just totally rebuilt that car.
Really?
I'm like, it looked fine to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, he's very anal.
Well, this body was hanging off an eighth of an inch, so I had to redo the entire tub and undercarriage. And
exactly.
That's cool. You get to see these guys, these ingenious guys, because no one else can repair this stuff. They got to make their own. It's been that, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah, you can't go to the car parts store for that.
No, but I do know you can go to Roger Penske's place in Nazareth, PA, and at the time that I talked to one of the mechanics, they actually had the original designers and engineers available with blueprints to remake parts for vintage Indy cars. So there's a fascinating history. Hopefully got a glimpse of here on the show. And Steve, thanks for being part of this and being on the show. And we wish you well with your Traction Reaction podcast as well.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. And HarryMillerClub.com. Check us out. We're also on Facebook, too. Please like our page. And we post stuff throughout the year, a lot of vintage race. I mean, who wants to look at old race cars, right?
I do. Thanks, Steve. How about I say it for Steve Zocchi joining us on the show? Looking forward to covering the world of motorsports. We're talking about a driver that's done some Monster Jam driving, still does that, was Rookie of the Year a couple years ago. He also drives a NASCAR Truck Series truck, did 2 races already this year. He's racing for every opportunity, and we hope to talk to him here in a few moments on the program. Camden Murphy. Monster Jam Cam on the way on the Racing Roundup Show right here at Pauly's Pub and Eatery. Stick around.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back. Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more.
Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Delansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln in West Dallas.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net. And join the racing crowd on Tuesday night, July 20th at the Greenfield Gallery Car Show. Our Racing Roundup show will be live there on Tuesday night, July 20th at Greenfield Gallery's Car Show at Heaven City on Highway ES at 27850 West National Avenue in Mugwanago.
Stay tuned for more of the Racing Roundup Show. This is America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed on the Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports from 6 to 7:30 right here in Milwaukee on WOKY AM, the Big 920, and in Madison on WTSO AM 1070 The Game. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500 and NASCAR at the track. You hear him on MAV TV's live coverage of the ARCA Menard Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. We want to welcome you and remind you to join the racing crowd this Saturday and Tuesday nights at Wilmot Raceway. This Saturday, the MSA 360 Sprinters join the program. Details about this Tuesday's special race program with our Racing Roundup Show live at 6 p.m. at the front gate can be found online at wilmotraceway.com. Tuesday, June 29th, it's carload night and fireworks night, $25 a carload. Yep, and it's fireworks night as well. We'll be out front, live at the front gate at the DeAngelis Construction Road Show sign next to our CK Contractors folks, and looking forward to a great night of racing as well. Get there early, get involved, go online to wilmotraceway.com. He said he'd be here at a specified time. He made it within a 15-second margin, plus or minus. You know what I'm talking about. He's on a schedule. Let's welcome in the man who is behind the wheel as often as he possibly can, wherever he can be, and a great friend of our show. Thanks for making the trip over here. What was I saying for Camden Murphy joining us on the show? Camden, thanks for coming down.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you for having me on, obviously, for so many consecutive years here, but you could not cut that any closer. I mean, we tried so hard to load that trailer up, and I mean, literally just sat down.
Where were you today?
Road America with Mr. Nemechek here.
So if you didn't know, we didn't know until he showed up, you dragged along the front row, Joe Nemechek. Joe, welcome back to Milwaukee.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
Great to see you. I think the last time we saw you this close was you were hanging out with your son, John Hunter, winning the pole position at the Super Late across the street.
That's right. Yeah, I think that was 2014. Yeah, we've had some great runs up here at Milwaukee, so it's I love this place. We were just talking about that coming in. Fun racetrack.
They ran some Super Lates there this weekend. They got an ARCA race coming end of August. You know, come on down, Joe. We got room for you to be on the show and maybe do some racing.
Yeah, I didn't know their Super Lates came back up here, so that's I got to keep that in mind. I got to look next year. We still have our stuff.
Yeah, you do?
Oh, yes.
So I know you bought a car at one point off of Johnny Sauter. Do you still have that one?
That one we sold, but
right.
Yeah, that was we have, what do we have? We have four left. Yeah. 4 left that. You know, that was the first one that we got started with, and Johnny helped John Hunter get going when he was real young. And we've progressed a lot since then, and we've won a ton of races now. So, that we don't run them much. You know, again, it's all about finding money, finding sponsors to make it all go, and tough thing to do right now.
Yeah, Camden, you got a chance. I looked it up. You've had 7 truck races since 2019 with Joe Nemechek and Front Row Joe and the Nemco team, including this past February at the Daytona Road Course. Started 37th, finished 13th. You're digging away. But he was giving you the look like you know the inventory in the Nemechek Motorsports shop. So what is your current role now as you hunt for money to go driving when you're not working on something?
I will part-time in the shop, when I can, obviously running around a lot, doing a lot of different things. But whenever I can, go in the shop, help build stuff, or just do anything I possibly can for this gentleman here. I mean, he's done so much for my career here in the last couple of years. And just tagging along, learning so much is huge for my career. So I try to do a little bit of everything. We obviously tried putting these cars here. We just came from Road America with the TA cars, TA2 cars, and him and I pretty much just built the truck for the COTA race as well. Basically, just the two of us, pretty much. So try to work in the shop as much as I can.
Is that the truck you drove for Spencer Davis, or was it a different truck?
It's a little partnership there. So
okay.
Yeah, yep.
Wow, cool. Did okay there too. People may not realize that after Camden Murphy won the Midwest Truck Series race at the Mile in 2014. He then said, I need to go racing full time. I need to driver coach. I need to road race. I need to be where the BMW club is. I need to be all across the country. And sleep was optional. Is it still the same way?
Absolutely. I went from Nashville I drove through the night to get to Chicago Saturday. Tried to spend some time with my family. I'm not home very often, which actually I have my mom, sister, and dad here today, which is really cool. My entire family hasn't really been together in the last 3-4 years.
They really haven't seen you yet because you literally ran in here.
Literally, yes, exactly. Yeah. But no, it's still no sleep for sure. Went from Nashville. I leave tomorrow to go to Kansas City. I'll be in Kansas City till Sunday, and then I'll be in Chicago, do some work all week, and then back to North Carolina and chugging away. So, like you said, it's definitely been a grind. Graduated high school and pretty much slept out of my car there for a little bit, just trying to create opportunities, meet people. That's what the sport's all about.
And Joe, I think you can attest to the fact that the first time I saw Camden in a NASCAR truck race, it was at Martinsville. The motor went, and he was in uniform, inside the fender, changing that thing literally with two other guys. That's the kind of dedication I'm sure you want more of when you got time to go racing with these guys.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I saw Camden driving some not so good equipment and actually doing fairly decent. And I started just watching, paying attention to what he was doing, and we gave him an opportunity and in some good trucks, and he stepped up, man. The things, he hauled butt in them, and then every opportunity we get, we try to give him a shot. So he's got a lot of talent, just needs a break.
Yep. Trans Am is part of the NASCAR weekend coming up at Road America. I'm guessing there's something to that timing of being there today. Trans Am TA2 has been the class that some of the drivers have elected to get some laps in on race weekend. Christopher Bell being the most recent winner at Road America in the Henry 180. He actually was in the TA2 car for not 1 but 2 straight years on race weekend to get some laps. So is this developing the idea of this being available for others to do?
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, something along those lines. But just a lot of testing, getting seat time, that's super important. It doesn't matter who you are and how good you are, and seat time is incredibly valuable. And, obviously it's good to have John Hunter and Joe at the track today and just trying to make laps myself, of course. So, yeah, anytime you can get on track anywhere is super important. So, obviously you'd love to have some big names and some cars that you're building, but you never know.
So John Hunter was there today. That means he got some good rest then, Joe? He's a new daddy, so I'm guessing Grandpa Joe over here is like, well, you want to go to bed at 9:30 or 10? And I'm sure John Hunter said, how about 6? Because he doesn't get much sleep now with the newborn at home, is he?
No, he's definitely getting a taste of it. She's so good. They've got her. She sleeps 12 hours a night. I mean, it's incredible. Camden had to wake me up when we got here. So,
all right.
I mean, we've been working hard. Yeah, we've had a lot of challenges, new car, new parts, pieces. We just trying a lot of stuff, trying to get our road race program going and get it built up. We got some really good stuff. Our cars are extremely fast, so have some good guys driving them, getting laps, and just trying to get that program going so we can do more road racing in the future.
And there are 6 Cup races on road courses this year, including the addition of Road American COTA. There's more added to the NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule. We know we're going to be seeing road racing as more of a common rather than a one-off or two-off a year. Is this part of the progression, Joe, for you to say, hey, if there's opportunities, these TA2 cars not only look cool, but they're pretty cool to be involved with?
Well, I'm just looking at our business, Nemco Motorsports, which we've raced NASCAR forever, and a lot of things are changing. I mean, we still have a full stable of trucks there. Have a couple of Xfinity cars. I've got a lot of stuff there, but we're building some road race cars, just trying to help. I mean, there's a lot of kids coming up that need seat time, need coaching, and so we're trying to just make a new spot or direction that we can go in to keep the business going.
Hanging out with surprise guest, front row Joe Nemechek, Camden Murphy. We know he was coming. flying low, spending a few minutes in Wisconsin before you probably head off to who knows where. We already told us about the schedule from Nashville. What'd you do today, Cam, and what's the near future hold for Camden Murphy and what you're doing?
Yeah, so yesterday and today we were at Road America just making some laps in some TA2 cars and just having a lot of fun. And we were literally left at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, shut the door, and just drove straight here. So obviously nonstop. But
it's a new track record.
Yeah, goodness, guys.
No, he was following a blue siren there for a while. He was following him.
I gotcha.
We weren't speeding.
That's the good place to be, drafting a cop car that's got the lights on.
May have bad influence. I don't know over here, but no, I'm kidding. But it was, no. So obviously for the future, really just kind of like Mr. Nemechek said, just obviously I was trying to find partners, sponsors, just like everybody in this industry, trying to get to the racetrack and find your way there. So trying to make it to Watkins Glen, that's the goal right now. Of course, I have a couple other races I'm trying to do with the Truck Series here with Mr. Nemechek, and so we'll see how it goes. Obviously, again, everybody faces those same challenges making it there. So when it comes to the Monster Jam world, Monster Trucks, I'm hoping to be back behind the wheel Bakugan Dragonoid in October. Ooh. Not positive. I will actually be going to Kansas City tomorrow to do some stuff with Monster Jam. Unfortunately, not driving, but I'm
commentating because you're pretty good at that.
Well, no, I actually did a little bit of Kawasaki stuff, so it should be some fun.
Okay.
Some fun.
UTV stuff?
Yep. We'll be riding around, driving around some UTVs.
Showing them how to stand on the end. Get up on those two wheels.
No comment.
Do a little dance.
No comment.
Little stand.
They might not like that.
What do they call that move?
Moonwalk. A stoppie into a moonwalk. Yeah. We actually so last year, 2020 was one of those years that just didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So 2019, we started doing, or I should say, I started doing this backflip into moonwalk. So basically, you land a backflip and you pop it up into moonwalk, basically throw it in reverse and get it to balance, and it's crazy.
You are crazy.
I don't even know where I'm at half the time when I start doing that. Obviously you land and you're just kind of knocking. Is it
like the motion in your stomach, like when you know you had too much spaghetti and you're on the ride too soon? You didn't wait the 30 minutes. That feeling is like, I got it. That's the feeling I want. My God, it's kind of coming up on me.
No, it's whenever you knock your head and you can't see anything for a quick second. That's the one. It is. Yeah, that's the one.
All right, you land it.
Well, or the back. Once you're like, oh, okay, that stung a little bit. Yeah. That was right. That was good. That worked. But should we do that again? I don't know. But yeah, I'll probably do it again.
So I know you don't have a choice in what trucks you end up running. It's all part of a massive production, including die-cast cars and all that kind of stuff. Pirate's Booty was what you're in now. Now the Bakugan Dragacon. What's it called again?
Bakugan Dragonoid.
Dang it, I thought I got it right.
Close.
Yeah. That's got to be fun because you love hanging out with kids, and I know Ronald McDonald's Charities has been a part of what you have for a long time.
Yeah, it's an absolute blast. That's the cool part about Monster Jam is it's all about the fans and spending time with the fans. It's unlike any other motorsport out there, honestly. We spend time with them for a few hours before the event, sign autographs, take pictures, and we obviously have post-show stuff as well. But the events are so much fun. I mean, we sell out arenas and stadiums all across the world at 60,000, 70,000 people, and the energy that these stadiums have is absolutely insane. And I mean, every walk of life, every age, everybody is there. It's not your average race fan you might think of. I mean, it is families, and it's just such a blast to be at those events. And I have so much fun with it, honestly. I mean, it's obviously it's a different industry, it's a different world, totally different business model than the NASCAR world. But I have so much fun doing that, and obviously getting to tear up a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck's a blast too, and not having to pay for it.
And putting it on the end and letting the crowd go crazy is probably a pretty high too.
Yes, absolutely. Again, I mean the energy that 60 or 70,000 people can put off is insane. I mean, as a little kid, I remember going to these shows and watching on TV, watching Charlie Pauken, Tom Mentz, Dennis Anderson, all these guys, and now I'm friends with them and just being able to compete against them. And Charlie Pauken, driver of Gravedigger, I call him my tour dad. We had so much fun. We bantered all the time, and actually we were going through some photos, my sisters, the other day, and we found an event that we went to years ago, and I found some old Tom Mentz pictures and Jim Kohler pictures and Avenger, and I texted them, sent it over, and it's so cool, such a small world. I mean, to be able to put a smile on a kid's face, knowing that I was that kid years ago, knowing the lasting impact that you can make on a kid is huge, and spending that 1 second, giving them a high five, knuckles, something, just that split second of time you spend with them could make a memory last a lifetime.
And tomorrow, Joe Nemechek, if you're riding along with Camden, does that mean you get to ride along in those two-seat UTVs? Was he going to try to put it on the end tomorrow?
No, I'm going to be back in Mooresville fixing all the stuff that he tore up this weekend. He knows how to tear it up. Now, I can vouch for that.
I want to say for Camden Murphy and Joe Nemechek for joining us here at the show. Guys, thanks for busting butt to be on our show. We really appreciate you coming down.
Great
Absolutely.
to be here.
Thank you for what is 15, 16 years now. So
At
thank
least,
you.
at least. Thanks for keeping the string alive. We're coming
Absolutely.
right back to wrap it up on the Racing Roundup Show.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show. Visit our show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on 1070thegame.com. We'll be right back.
The Racing Roundup Show is brought to you by Jockey. Don't miss the Jockey Made in America 250, July 4th at Road America in Elkhart Lake.
And we're back on the Racing Roundup Show. I want to thank our guests for being on the program tonight. Joe Bongiorno, Cole Thomas, Steve Zotke, Camden Murphy, and front row Joe Nemechek. I want to thank also Mark Goodman for bringing out his Pinto wagon for display, as well as the Hot Wheels bike. Scott Kruger brought his Hot Wheels logoed up Cafe Racer sitting right out front here at Racing Roundup headquarters. Looking forward to seeing you join us next Tuesday night, fans. We're going to be live at the front gate at Wilmot Raceway with another DeAngelis Construction Roadshow presented by CK Contractors. Again, we're live from 6 to 7 on the radio, live at the front gate at Wilmot with Josh Balicki and his Cup car. It's a show car, but hey, man, it's a Cup car sitting at the racetrack next Tuesday night. Make sure you join us at Wilmot Raceway. We'll be live for their complete racing show and fireworks. It's carload night, $25 a carload. So come on down and join the racing crowd tomorrow, next Tuesday night. Lots of racing going on this weekend. I'll be at Pocono for the ARC race on Friday and back for some short track racing on the weekend. So make sure you set your DVRs and support your local racing. I want to tell you that next week's show includes a lot of racers that are racing at Wilmot next Tuesday night. So we want to be where the racing is. Thanks to DeAngelis Construction for being part of our road show. The next one's next Tuesday. Until then, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers. We'll catch you next Tuesday.